Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jordan's gonna go. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Listen, I have a question. We just recently returned back from our visit to Ghana, and we learned quite a bit. So before I dive in, I want to just welcome you to the channel, Aquaba, and encourage you to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Honey, if there's something interesting that is said, that gets your attention, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and comment. Go ahead and subscribe and share. Listen, today I want to talk about, just really ask a question. Does Africa, West Africa, do African worship trees? Is it a myth or is there some truth to that? Is it just a whole lie out here in the West? Okay, I'm in the West, and I think it was last year sometime. There was this big thing that came about because of a pastor here, a white pastor here at a church in Georgia specifically, kind of made a statement to the congregation, and I'm going to paraphrase. So just pretend like I'm the pastor. The pastor says, I'm not saying slavery was right or anything like that. It was wrong. But one thing about slavery, the black people got Jesus. Because otherwise, they would have still been in Africa doing their voodoo and worshiping under a tree. Or worshiping a tree. Is that true? Is it a myth? Is it a whole lie? Because when I went during our visit, we were able and had the opportunity to support this orphanage in the area called Nyamejua Children's Home. And I learned that the Nyamejua name is for the tree of God, okay? The tree of life, like the altar of God. So when I got a chance, when I was looking at property and out and about, we had an opportunity to physically lay eyes on an actual Nyamejua tree. I think I said that correctly. Nyamejua tree. Actually have a picture of it. And our chauffeur and the different people that were with us, they was explaining that this particular tree was called the Nyamejua, and it just happens to be named after the orphanage that we went to visit and to share of our time, our love, and financial support to at this orphanage that happens to be named after this tree, the tree of God, the tree of life. And after, learning, and I was reminded of this preacher here who has in his mind, and he was fairly young, I would say maybe 30-ish, and his belief is that the slaves brought here, had we not come here, had our ancestors not come here to the West, we would not have found God or Jesus, and we would still be in Africa practicing hoodoo, voodoo, and worshiping a tree. Is that really true? I mean, because when I was there, the tree was not worshipped. And from talking with different people who are from Africa, the trees was like a gathering place because they didn't really erect buildings or structures. So a particular tree was where they would come and gather for whatever. It was just known, this tree is where we're going to meet, such and such time, such and such date, for whatever was going on. Here is the tree. And so I did my research on the Nyamejua tree and how it's really a symbol or to remind us about the presence of God, and that the temple, our body is the temple. to be reminded of the presence of God. And when I heard the ignorance of that spewed out of the mouth of this pastor, I said, wow. And then when I went to Africa, I actually laid eyes on the tree and asked how. It wasn't planned. We just happened to go to this children's orphanage that was named Naya Medjua. And these children, this place would be where the presence of God dwelled or lived, and taking care of these children who were fatherless, motherless, or homeless. But I saw the ignorance that we have in the West, even for me. The education that we get in the West and with the media and what we are shown, and even it will have you completely ignorant. I was completely ignorant, and I can say so up until less than 10 years back, when I started learning and educating, and especially when the pandemic happened. And our former president, who's now running for president this year, Donald Trump, he's kind of said publicly, and I'm going to paraphrase, basically telling black people to learn our history here in America so they won't go back to it or repeat it. And baby, when he said that, oh, that put fire in my belly. And I went researching, and I went digging, and I went studying. And I went studying and researching and digging, so much so that we planned this trip to go to Africa that we just came back from, because I wanted to lay eyes, hands, feet, and touch for myself. When I learned that I understood better and got to see places and things where our ancestors were at the slave castle there in Cape Coast, and where they took their last bath and walked from the slave castle to enter onto that ship on the Atlantic Ocean and sail all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to never return again. And my husband and I purpose in our hearts and our spirit that in honor and memory of our ancestors, we would do what we need to do to return in their honor and their remembrance, and to see and touch and feel where their feet tread. Alexa, pause. To feel and see and touch where their hands touch, where they spent their last moments or time at a place that was home, to be shipped off and never to return to their home, to their family, to their tribe, to their village and community. And then when they got here, and before they got here, the husband they knew, the children they knew, the wife they knew, the parents they knew, to be torn apart and separated from, and never have that connection again. Woo. Lost mothers, lost fathers, lost sons, lost daughters, lost family, lost your identity, your name. So much so, when I say name, y'all, we found our names. We got it in the tree. My name is Ama. So much so that I wanted to put my name. I wanted to redeem and reclaim something that was stolen and taken away from my ancestors. You know, that yeah, so the lies, the deception, the untruth, the half truths, and for me, I just want to know. I mean, maybe if I missed something, did our ancestor worship trees? Or did our colonizers and oppressors misjudged and assumed because it didn't look like their way. And they misjudged and assumed that that's what was happening. Is it a myth? Is it a lie? Is there some truth to it? Because based on what I learned and from talking to people who grew up and lived there, it wasn't worshiping a tree as we think and believe in the West. All right, let me know. What do y'all think? What are your thoughts? Comment. Let me know. All right? Is it a myth? Is it a lie? Any truth to it at all? All right. Thank you. Just wanted to pop on and share. And just remind us to keep ourselves in the presence of God wherever we are, at all times, in all places. All right? Bye. Like, share, comment. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Jordan's gotta go. Bye. Gotta go now.